House Democrats. And joining us now is Democratic Congressman from Ohio, Greg Landsman. He has been publicly fighting to release the Epstein files in their entirety. Congressman, thank you for being with us. First, your reaction to these never-before-seen emails written by Epstein and exchanged by others.
It just reinforces what we know, which is that this is the world that Donald Trump lived in for a long time in Palm Beach. Sorry, Mar-a-Lago is just around the corner. These two were close, and you see that in pictures, you see that in the writings, you see that in the emails, and so this obviously raises questions like how much of this awfulness did he know? I mean, Epstein, wasn't just somebody who was sex trafficking; he was raping children. And clearly, there's a lot more that this president knew, and people want to know what happened, and they want transparency. The fact that they have worked so hard to cover it up is ultimately, I think, what's going to kill him. Like, I don't know what crime, if any crime, was committed, but clearly he is trying to cover this up. And remember, right after he found out he was in the Epstein files, he fired the prosecutors at the Justice Department who were handling this. He removed them from the building. And you have to ask yourself, is that because he wanted these files? Did he want to get rid of the files?
So the president has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing. Important to note that the White House is calling all this a hoax, blaming your party of selectively leaking emails to create a fake narrative. What say you?
Yeah, I think if he wanted to lay out a narrative that he was more comfortable with, he should release the documents, be fully transparent. The challenge, I think, is one, I'm not sure what they have left. I do think that one of the stories that got missed in all of this is that he fired all these prosecutors and removed them from their offices and their building. And, I'm not sure what was taken from those offices. And what you're seeing now from the documents being released is that there's a lot to this story. And it's always the cover-up that kills people, whether there's a crime or not, whether he committed any crime, and it's not clear that he did. He may have known what this guy was doing, which is just terrible. I mean, just sickening. I'm a parent. I've got 2 kids. I've got a daughter who's 15 years old. Like, it's sickening. But ultimately, there's clearly a cover-up, and that's what ultimately gets people.
Well, there are clearly more questions than answers at the moment. You co-sponsored the bipartisan Epstein discharge petition in the House to get those answers. Later today, you'll have those 218 signatures you need to force a vote on releasing everything after Adelita Grijalva is sworn in. So what's the timeline for this discharge petition hitting the floor?
Unfortunately, it's up to the Speaker. The discharge petition rules require that the Speaker give us a vote, but there's a whole bunch of procedural things that he may do to try to, draw this out. And, ultimately, it's on him as to when we'll get that vote. But the Oversight Committee is going to continue to do their work, and they're going to release things as they should to the American people. I mean, members of Congress need to know what happened here, but the American people do. And part of it is that it's one of the worst stories, that I've ever seen. But it's also just like part of this larger issue with this super wealthy class, and they seem to be in cahoots with each other. Remember, the guy who decided to pass on prosecuting Epstein ended up in Trump's cabinet. And so, it just feels corrupt and disgusting. And ultimately, people want to know what happened.
Congressman, I know you've said you're a no on tonight's deal to end the shutdown. What's Leader Jeffries telling you in the caucus about today's vote?
So I haven't heard from Leader Jeffries, but, I was back in the district for the last couple of weeks. That's one of the benefits of this, is that we got more time with our constituents. I don't know how anyone comes back from being home and doesn't push for what we've been pushing for from the very beginning, which is reopen the government. Should never have been shut down in the first place, to be clear. reopen the government, and extend people's health care subsidies so that they don't have to experience and deal with skyrocketing health care costs. That's all I heard. I heard what's going on with these tariffs. The tariffs are killing my farm. It's killing the small business that I've been running for forever. And so, like, I submitted amendments that said, like, we got to deal with the tariffs, we got to deal with health care, we got to deal with food, utility, all of these things. This current budget doesn't deal with any of those things. Their priorities are not at all the priorities of the folks back home, and I'm going to stand with the people back home.